Jumping straight in, we're going to start off with Golden Ochre from out of the Modern Renaissance palette. I'm just going to use this shade as a base for our next two shades. Our next two shades will be Raw Sienna and Burnt Orange mixed together, and then those two are going to act as our transition shade. And I'm just using this on a fluffy BH Cosmetics brush. When I want a nice clean look, I just love going in with the tape because it just creates that nice perfect slant without you having to use an extra makeup wipe. So yeah, I just always like to use the tape. Now we're going to go into the Jaclyn Hill palette. I do not have the shades in front of me, but I am just taking that burgundy shade right there that you just saw me point at, and we're going to put this right underneath our transition shade to just add some color. The shade is so perfect. I really didn't want to go in with reds or make it a typical pink look, so I just felt like this would be a wonderful, wonderful look. Now we're going to go in with that dark brown shade to darken up our outer V. So with that tape being there, it pretty much just directs you exactly where you need to put your shadows. If you aren't good with figuring out where your shadows would go, I would definitely say put tape down and it'll just be like, it's like a guideline. Then we're going to go back in with that burgundy shade just to deepen up our crease because that brown did make it disappear. So yeah, here I'm just blending in the burgundy and then I go back in with a little bit more brown just to deepen it up some more. So you're just pretty much going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Okay, now we're going to cut the crease or the lid. We're going to cut the crease lid with the Tarte ShapeTape in the shade Tan Sand. I learned this cool trick from Nicole Guerrero, my favorite. So all you do is put the concealer on the bottom part of your eye, look up, and then it'll just mark the top part so you know where it'll always transfer. So that's where you're going to cut your crease. And then we're going to set this with translucent powder, which I did not show you. And after I set it with translucent powder, I go back in with that dark brown to deepen up that outer V because it did disappear. Now for our lid shade, we're going into the Morphe 35B palette and taking that cream matte shade just to put all over the lid. I know I'm using a lot of palettes, guys, but I just couldn't find a palette that had all the shades that I needed, so this is why. The Jaclyn Hill palette pretty much had all of them in there. You can get away with that, but it just did not have that white cream matte shade that I needed. So now we're going to go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and we're going to place that metallic cranberry shade right next to our outer V. Don't take it in too much. I used my finger because I got more pigment that way, and then I'm just going to go back in with that brown to blend it in some more because of that cranberry shade, took it away, and then of course we're going to go back in with the matte shade just to intensify it some more. Now we're moving on to face. Oh my gosh, why did it take me so long to jump on this Estee Lauder bandwagon? My face is primed in the Estee Lauder mattifying primer, and then I am wearing double wear today in the shade 5W1 Bronze. Love this foundation. It's pretty much the only foundation that does not give me smile lines, so thank you so much for the girls at Estee Lauder for putting me on. And then for concealer, of course, we're going to use the Tarte ShapeTape because I just bought it and I spent my hard money on it, so I'm not throwing it away just yet. And then we're just going to add the ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the shade Medium 30 on top to give me a little bit more of a highlight effect. And then we all know what we do here. We just blend it out with the Beauty Blender. Same old, nothing new. Yeah. And your girl finally got her hands back on some Laura Mercier translucent powder. My Ben Nye powder is pretty much done for. So now I'm on the hunt for a cool drugstore setting powder. So if you guys do have any cool drugstore translucent setting powders, let me know down below because I am looking. But I'm just going to set everything with the Laura Mercier. And then we're going to bronze with my favorite bronzing powder, which is the Bobbi Brown bronzing powder in the color medium 2. And then after we bronze, you bronze and then you take it down your nose, and then I did go ahead just dust away all of our translucent powder. I did not bake as much as I normally would just because I was using Laura Mercier and that ish is amazing. So after I do all of that, dust everything away, I then set my entire face with my LA Girl Pro face powder, in the shade True Bronze. This one is completely empty, so I need to get to an Ulta to buy a new one. And now we're just gonna go off and finish the eyes. So I'm just gonna take raw sienna and burnt orange and then just shade the bottom lash line. Then I'm going to take that burgundy shade that we also used on the lid and then just keep it exactly where that cranberry shade at the top ends, but on our bottom lash line. And then we're going to do the exact same thing with the dark brown shade, and then we're just going to keep that one exactly where the dark brown ends. Just remember to take it all the way to the outer edge of that eyeshadow to blend it out together. Now we're going to set the entire face with the Mario Badescu facial spray, the cucumber one. I love this stuff and it's just perfect for my highlighter because it helps my highlighter set. For highlight, we're going to use the Bobbi Brown highlighting powder in the shade Tawny Glow. To me, this shade is so perfect for Valentine's Day because it's just so pinky. I don't do pinky highlighters, but I have this, so why not use it? I'm more of like a gold kind of girl, kind of highlight. Gold is my go-to, so just had to do this into the mix. And we are just highlighting as we normally do, nothing fancy. I also did put a little bit in my inner corners, but it didn't give me a pop, so I'll let you know what I use after that. For blush, we're taking the MAC's, I believe it is called Floor. Um, this is so old that it's not even on the back of it anymore. So just pretty much use a cute light pink blush, and then we're going to go in with the Jordana Easyliner in the shade Coffee Bean just to line the waterline. For mascara, my favorite mascara right now currently, which is the Monosour. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I've been saying Monosour though, so I'm gonna keep saying it. Monosour Big Mascara. It is from Lancome. And then after we let that dry, we're gonna add some falsies, which is the number one favorite drugstore lashes of mine, which are the Ardell Wispies. They are so perfect. They look so natural. They go so perfectly with my bottom lashes. Everyone thinks that they are real when I wear them. So yeah, I just like these. These are my faves. My favorite drugstore lashes. Concoction today, we're going to use NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner in the shade Downtown Beauty, and then we're going to fill it in with MAC's Cream Cup, and because it was a little bit too pinky, I added Dose of Colors, More Creamer Please. And for the highlight that I told you I did add on my inner corners was It's My Ray Ray Radiant Highlighter, and this is the complete look. I hope you guys enjoy it and have a wonderful Valentine's Day. Love you. Mwah.